slid past there. Oh, you're gonna need some gas. I got plenty to get over there, but I'm planning on... well, I may not need to bring it back to the garage to do the next mission. So if I can top it off with fuel, I can take it on up to towards the mine. And there's my other load of fuel. So that will be the 6 that I need. And we'll have to find 2 more bricks. And then haul the cabins over. I really do like the fact that it takes so long to do these missions. It extends the gameplay out, and I like that. And what I might do is with the next load, the GMC, just hook up to the boron grat here and just tow it over so it can refuel all the vehicles while they're over there. But I haven't even really looked at the missions for the gold mine, so I don't know what all I'm going to need. I may have to bring them all back over to the warehouse to pick up cargo. Going, huh? Get a little more speed out of it. I'm starting to turn this into a mud pit. But it's still better than going through the mud down there. So, there you go. Straight and steady. Yeah, I kind of regret not using this truck more. I just didn't think it was... well, using it on Michigan, you don't get all the upgrades. The all-wheel drive unit you can't get till you get to Alaska. And by then, you've got much better trucks anyway. So you don't tend to think about this one. that, shaking the dust off that tree. It's little things like that you don't notice all the time, but when you do notice it, it's a detail that you wouldn't have thought they would put in a game, but the developers did. It's like one of the Azovs. When you're driving it, if you pay attention to the back of the cab, there's actually a shackle hanging off, and as you're hitting bumps, that shackle is swaying back and forth. I still have not seen any wolves on this map anywhere. I don't know if they put wolves on it. And if they've put any Easter eggs in here, I haven't found them yet. Like they did in Lake Cove with the Bigfoot tracks. Or they did in Russia where they put the there's one area you can go and you can see a cemetery, and in a couple of areas you can go and you can shut your lights off and you can see eyes everywhere. So that's pretty cool. It kind of freaked me out the first time I saw it. I was watching somebody, and I can't remember, it was on YouTube, and I can't remember who it was. I meant to write it down, but they were talking about a ghost truck. And they were on Smithville Dam, and they were coming out of the quarry, and they were kind of stuck trying to get up there. And you can plainly see another vehicle off to their left that pulls up and then backs up and then pulls up and then backs up and disappears, and it was not any of the guys that was playing in it. So that was kind of wild. I think throwing things like that in there would be pretty cool. You're driving and then all of a sudden you see another vehicle when you're just by yourself. That'd freak people out. It freaked me out. Freightliner. Get off the brakes, Bob. I did find in one area, I was just out driving around on the other map, and the other playthrough that I've got going in this area, and I was trying to get to one of the dark areas. It's way up on a mountain, just to see if there was anything up there hidden, and I did find something that looked like a concrete altar. It was over near a house. It's probably some kind of, you know, old loading thing, but I hadn't seen that before in any of the other maps. So in this playthrough, when I get over in that area, I'll be sure to go to it. But yeah, it's just one of those things that's just totally out of place. Doesn't look like it belongs there. Alright, come on, give me my camera. Slow that wheel spin down a little. I'm thinking about doing some experiments with some of the trucks. It seemed like they have just too much power to get through here. Maybe putting a smaller engine in them. Just see if that would help out any. Oh, so you're using the C70? Yeah, it's pretty impressive. More impressive than I thought it would be. So in my speed run, I actually sold it. And I think I'm gonna buy it back and try using it. I'm over in Alaska now in the speed run, and try using it over there and see how it does. Because I never even run it in the speed run. I mean, as soon as I got it out of the mud pit, out of the bog, I immediately sold it. Because I never had any luck with it. And honestly, I thought since it had a single drive axle in the back, that it just wouldn't be any good. And that's what I get for assuming things. Okay, she used it in the Azov. Yeah, I'm going to drive it a lot more. And as I said earlier, I tried the new lift for the MK38 and those new mud tires, and I like those. So it makes the MK38 a lot better, a lot more stable. There we go, you get it now. Go, 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 go. Shoot. I thought I could go to high gear. Keep moving. That's what I have to tell my cat all the time. Keep moving. Because he will run full tilt, get in front of me, and then slow down to a crawl. Like he's leading me somewhere. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to buy mine back too. And use it a lot more. Because it is a tough little truck, but only use it once I get the all-wheel drive unit for it. Because in the first playthrough that I did, I tried using it, and without the all-wheel drive, it's not a good truck at all. I've got a used truck lot over here. Alright, got one more to go. Well, actually, two more to go, but and I think I had the GMC. Yep. GMC loaded and ready for action. And this was another one that surprised me once I got the got to Lake Cove and got the all-wheel drive unit. This truck was a big surprise. So since I've got the all-wheel drive unit for it, it's become one of my go-to trucks. Which is why in my speed run I went ahead over before I went to Alaska, and I got the all-wheel drive unit for it so I could use it in Alaska. So there are some surprisingly good trucks in the game, and there are some surprisingly bad trucks in the game. I will never, ever buy another Arctic. That thing is just junk. But I would love to see an all-wheel drive unit for the P16. I think that would be fun. P16 does okay, being just rear-wheel drive. But I think if it got an all-wheel drive unit, it would be almost unstoppable. Which is probably why it doesn't have an all-wheel drive unit. And I think if they do put an all-wheel drive unit in for it, they should not do it like they did for this truck and put it on the newest map. They should just make a mission on either Michigan or in Alaska, to where once you complete the mission, then you find the unit. That way you can get the all-wheel drive unit sooner. Which is what they should have done with this one. Should have just added another mission in Michigan. And the reward for it is an all-wheel drive unit for this truck. Too much wheel spin. And I also think they should have some randomization, so that, you know, I know where all the upgrades are because I've played through several times, but I think they should randomize it so that every time you do a new playthrough, the upgrades can be in the same place, but they're different upgrades. They just move them around the maps. So the all-wheel drive unit for, you know, a certain vehicle, in one playthrough you'll find it at one location, and another playthrough you find it at a different location. Or just totally randomize them everywhere. You know, I might find in one playthrough there's 5 different places where you can get them, and in the next playthrough they're in 5 totally different locations. That way I've got to actually search the maps. I would like that. So like I said, right now I know where the upgrades are, and I can go straight to them. So upgrades aren't that big of a deal. I'm trying to locate them anymore. There you go. I'd also like at some point to be able to take like the fuel barrels here and just take a load of, you know, like this, 2 loads of fuel barrels, and be able to put them someplace on the map and be able to actually use the fuel out of them. Sometimes that would be easier than hauling a trailer around. We used to do that when we were kids. We spent all of our summers up in the woods, and when we got old enough to get motorcycles or rail buggies, we'd go out on the weekends and on like a Friday after school and just hide gas cans up in the woods. So that when we do it during the week, but that way when we were out on the weekends and we were riding motorcycles and we started running out of gas, we knew where we hid our gas cans at. Alright, so I need 2 more bricks, and right there's a brick. And right there's a brick. But it means crossing the river. But I can come up here, cross it here, and come down there and get those bricks, or I can just come over and get the brick framing right here. So who do I got in the garage? Oh, I got the Azovs, but I'm using those for the cabins. So can't use a Freightliner. I'd like to, but I can't, but I can use a step. And we'll go over and get our last set of bricks. And that was out here. A little trip through the bog. And anchor. Anchors away and grab the crane. And I'm sitting at a really bad angle. I should have went on the other side. So let's take you around the front of the truck. That way I can put the weight this way. Could have probably picked it up without tipping it over and put it on the other side of the truck, but didn't want to take a chance. Pack, restore. And we'll get the other one. And then pull on this side. A little bit more. That looks a little bit better. Because heavy bricks and soft ground. And we're off. We'll cut through the woods here. Avoid a little bit of that. Ooh, I thought I was going over. Yeah, maintenance or fuel pallet to carry with you. That'd be pretty cool. Or even a maintenance trailer you can carry with a Scout. I would like that. Maybe even a small maintenance and fuel trailer that a Scout can pull behind it. Wouldn't even have to have very many points. And I know you can do the maintenance bed with the the Lodestar, but the Lodestar does not run well with that maintenance bed, which is why I never run it. I used to exclusively run it with the maintenance bed because I wanted the extra repair points with me. And I watched somebody on YouTube who was talking about how the pickup chassis was better and didn't bog the truck down as much, so I tried it and they were right. Again, you don't carry as many repair points, but the maintenance add-on doesn't have fuel. And it's funny, it was a long time before I figured out that the pickup chassis actually carried fuel. I didn't know that. I couldn't see the fuel cans, so I assumed it just had repair points. But then one day I had to use all the repair points, and I was looking, I was like, well, that's got gas cans in there. But with the Bandit being able to carry fuel and repair points on its roof, I think that'll open it up so that they'll make more trucks be able to do that. At least I'm hoping. Especially the trucks that don't carry a lot of fuel. Even if they didn't give you any maintenance, just fuel racks on the top. But I get where they have to balance them out. You know, you got a truck like the Azov that's really, really good, and people wouldn't drive other trucks because that one's so good, so they just give it a small fuel tank. So you have to consider driving other things. Well, an example of that would be the Kodiak. I mean, I wouldn't have driven the Kodiak except I was forced to do it. And now I'm glad I did. But there are a few. You will never ever convince me that the International Scout is any good. I have rolled that thing way too many times to trust it to do a mission. All I use it for is a rolling repair and fuel station that I pull behind something else. But there are people out there that do like it, and more power to you. Alright, so we're closing in on this. It's the last set of bricks. And then I just have to deliver the 2 cabins. Cabin zone number 2. Make sure I deliver them to the right zone this time. Alright. Yeah, I definitely got to use truck lot over here. Back to the garage and cabin zone number 2. Make sure I get, so that's 1, so 2 is the one across the river. Across 2 rivers. Right over there. Alright, make sure I had the right one. And it's time for you. And get the other one out. That way I can load them both up at the same time. So yeah, this truck's got a nice flat roof on it, a roof rack on it. Even if it carried just 30 gallons of fuel, it would make a world of difference with some of these missions. And go to Ford. Fire you up. And get that crane moving. So I'm going to end up with 1 extra cabin over here. Yep, not high enough. Insurance will take care of that. So I saw something really funny on Facebook. I don't know if y'all have seen it or not, but if you haven't, you need to see if you can find it. There was a guy, and he did a little video, and he's talking about he's got an old barn or an old building, and he was cleaning it out. Actually, I don't need to do that. Let's go back into crane mode. I don't have to back it yet. But anyway, he's cleaning out his building, and he moved an old bird's nest, and he found an old box. And in the box was a set of instructions. But it said that he had to get a shovel, and he had to go to a certain specific area out in the woods. And he did that. He said it was like a treasure map. So he goes out in the woods with a shovel, and he finds the area, and he digs, and he said he didn't have to dig very long, and he ran across an old metal lunchbox, and it shows him finding the lunchbox. So, hit the wrong button. But he opens up the lunchbox, and in the lunchbox he finds a book. So in the book was a note, and it was like a cipher code. You know, one of those things that gives you a page number, and then a line, and then another number that tells you how many letters to go over, and you pick that letter. Excuse me. So he said he does that, and a message forms. And let's restore this. Activate my anchors again. Stop and change trucks. And he said he was really excited, and he read the message, and the message said, we have been trying to get a hold of you about your, what was it? Trying to get a hold of you about your car warranty is getting ready to expire. And it was just hilarious. I laughed my butt off, because I've been getting that same stupid telemarketer 10 times a day telling me my car warranty is getting ready to expire. I drive a 2000 Chevy S10 with over 250,000 miles on it. I think the warranty's already expired. Got another telemarketer the other day. I didn't recognize the number, and it was from my local area. So I was waiting on a phone call, and thought it might be the phone call I was waiting on, so I answered it, and got a recording saying that somebody was trying to purchase an iPhone on my Amazon account. So I pressed the 1, got a woman from India, very distinct accent, and she asked me for my name, so I made up a name. And at first, when she answered the phone, she said some company that I never heard of, and then she corrected herself, said she was from Amazon customer service. So right then I knew something was up. But I gave her a name I just made up, and she said yes, somebody was trying to purchase an iPhone 10 on my Amazon account. She wanted my Amazon account number, and so I said, you just said somebody's trying to purchase it on my account, you don't know my account number? She said she needed to verify it. So I told her, well, you know, I'm just calling because I don't have an Amazon account. And if somebody is using my name to make up an account, I would like for y'all to correct that for me. And she hung up on me. So either it was a scam or Amazon has some really horrible customer service. Don't know why people have to be like that. Go out and get you a real job instead of scamming people. Alright, so I think to the right is my best bet. And come around that way, since I am closer to that way. But let's wait here on the other truck. As of... I did pack you, yep. Cat keeps looking at me every time I talk. And I can just imagine him thinking, would you shut the heck up? I'm trying to sleep. Excuse me. I was just thinking about what I was talking about earlier. You know, if you were driving, all of a sudden you seen trucks, and you're driving by yourself, and you see another vehicle coming down the road, freak you out. That actually did freak me out the first time I did a co-op. Got on the co-op, somebody else's co-op, and didn't know what to do, and I'm just, you know, trying to feel my way through it. And I'm driving down the road and I'm hauling butt, and whoever's co-op it was pulled right out and through some trees right out in front of me, and I T-boned him. That was just something I didn't expect, seeing another truck where I've been playing the game so long just by myself. But I think that'd be interesting if they put just some random vehicles moving, not very many. Just a couple on each map that would just drive around from one point to another, just enough to get in your way sometimes. Uh-oh. Stay on the road, or on the bridge. I haven't found any places where you can get across here. Unlike Alaska, there were a few places where you can get under the pipeline. I haven't found any places where you can get under the conveyor belt. I should have went up in the grass. I forgot. I'm old, I'm allowed to forget things. Speaking of old, I'm gonna be a little bit older here in a couple of hours. Tomorrow is my birthday. And I am off work. Both at my job and at my house. I already told my wife, don't even think about it. Don't put a list out, because I'm not going to do it. I am taking the day off. Playing video games all day. Video games and playing with my new paint gun. So I've got a neighbor, and she's a really nice lady. I like her a lot. She's an older lady, and her husband passed away last year, but he was a collector of basically everything. I mean, the man never saw something he didn't collect. So she's been cleaning out. He was in a nursing home for several years before he passed away last year. But she's been slowly cleaning out the garage and his workshop and stuff like that, and I've been helping her. And she's been donating a lot of stuff, and sometimes she'll ask me if I want something, and well, sure, no problem, I'll take it, because I am also a collector of just about everything. Let's go ahead and get this offloaded and get that truck out of the way. But anyway, he had a really nice paint gun, professional grade paint gun for cars. And she asked me if I wanted it. I was like, shoot, yeah, I'll take it. But it needed a part. And it's taken me a while to find the nozzle part that I needed. But I finally found it, and it came in. So I will be playing with that tomorrow. And let's get some lights on. Get off here. There we go. And we'll go back into it. And we'll tilt it forward. And extending down. So just about the time that I get these controls down good, they're going to come in and change them. Let's reverse slowly. Now I'm not going to put this in yet, because if I put this in, I won't be able to change trucks. I gotta get the other truck over here first. Because of that glitch. Oh, I just glitched myself. So we'll move you out of the way. So if you don't know anything about the glitch I'm talking about, once you load a cabin, for some reason the game is glitching out on you. And if you do that, when you go into your menu here, you can't get down past 3 or 4 vehicles before it automatically jumps back up at the top. So I wouldn't be able to get down here and get the Azov changed to it. So you've got to make sure you get everything over there. You've got to load these into the loading area and then unload them. So as soon as it gives you the money for the mission and you hit accept, then you got to take them out. Again, minor glitch. It was a pain in the butt the first time it happened, but once I figured out how to do it, it's just one of those things. Now the real test is going to be on the other map. One of the missions is delivering 20 of these. So that's going to be a little bit sketchy. And I have been thinking about it, how I'm going to do it. And the only thing I can really do is get the forklift over there and get all 20 of them sitting there so that the forklift can move all 20 of them. Put all 20 on there, take all 20 off. But also have a crane in case there's one that the forklift won't be able to reach. But I looked at the unloading zone, and it's about the same size as this one, a little bit bigger. So I think the forklift can get all the way around it. So I don't think there'll be that much of an issue. It'll just be a pain in the butt till I get them all loaded on there, accept it, and then get them offloaded. But I have not delivered any to that area, so I don't know if the same glitch will happen. But both cabin zones on this map have the glitch. Easy. Oh, you sunk up good. Alright. Let's see if I got a winch point back here. Nope. Winch point up front. It should be able to reach that tree if I use the other one. Nope. Alright, no problem. I have another Azov. Oh. Take the brake off. I'm gonna have to pull Bob's CDL. I've driven many trucks before, never had a CDL. Drove them in the Army. One of the biggest mistakes I made when I got out of the military, came home here to West Virginia, got my driver's license renewed that had been expired for 10 years. Because back then, if you were in the military, you had a military ID, your West Virginia license never expired. But when I got back here to West Virginia, they saw my military license and, well, don't tell me you're stuck too. But they asked me if I wanted to get a CDL and be grandfathered in, because that was a thing back then. All I would have had to done was take a written test and could have got my CDLs, and I told him, no, I don't want to do that. Dumbest move I ever made. Back into automatic. Yeah, at least they can't make the controls worse. I don't know. They might be able to. But yeah, now that I'm getting used to them, they'll change them to where they should have been in the first place, and I won't be able to use a forklift again. It'll screw me up. I have to relearn it. It's like once you've driven in Europe for a while and you get back to the US, you got to learn how to drive again. I was in the military. I was stationed in Italy for 4 years. So when I left Italy, I drove like an Italian, which is scary. So I got back here to the States, and my first sergeant gave me some really good advice. He said, make sure that I renew my international driver's license before I left Italy, because they're an international driver's license good in all NATO countries except the one it's issued in. So it was issued in Italy, so it means it was good in the US. And I got back here to the US and I was driving like an Italian. And you can't take points off of an international driver's license. So that saved my butt. Because I was going down a 4-lane once, and there were 2 cars moving slower than I wanted to go, and I just split them in the middle. And one of them happened to be an unmarked state trooper. So he didn't appreciate that very much. But I actually got out of the fine too, because he arrested me because I wouldn't show him a driver's license. I kept telling him it's an international driver's license. I can drive on it in every NATO country except for Italy, because that's where it's issued. So he arrested me and had me in the back of his car, and I told him, you know, you better get a supervisor out here. So a supervisor was nearby and came out, and the tow truck had just got there to tow my vehicle. When the supervisor arrived, and the supervisor looked at my license and said, yeah, he can drive on that. You gotta let him go. You can't arrest him for that. So the supervisor actually told him not to give me a ticket either. Still had to pay $75, because by the time they figured it out, the tow truck had already hooked up to my Jeep. Nope, not recover. Change trucks. Alright, but the guy wouldn't let the Jeep down until I paid $75. So I think that's kind of a scam. But you live and you learn. I learned to slow my butt down. What am I doing? Just touch you back and extend you out. Raise you up. Up, tilt that way. Those forks under there. There we go, got a good grip now. And raise it up. And bring my boom back in. And we'll try this again without dropping it this time. Or nearly dropping it. Touch it forward. Get over here where I can see. And raise it up a little bit, not too much, and extend the boom out. Drop down, drop down, down some more, and that's as far as she goes. So and those yellow lines, I can't see where my forks are at. There we go. I used to drive forklifts in the Army. Every forklift the Army had, I was licensed on. I love forklifts. Turn around here where I can see. And right there. Down, touch you back, get you level, and extend, drop, extend, drop. Oh, well, I'm good with Army forklifts. This is not an Army forklift. Bring that. Nope. Y button. F4 Forgot to bring my boom in. Make sure I go on there straight this time. Nice and easy. Put it in low gear so it doesn't take off on me. I shouldn't have to put this all the way on there. I should just have to get a little piece of it on. There we go. Alright, $36,000 and 4,340 points that don't mean anything anymore because I'm already topped out at 30. And I still wish you could go higher in the game. So let's see if I can go down. Ooh, look at that. I can actually go up and down. Could the bug be fixed? I don't know. Let's go ahead and put this on there and find out. Right there. And the brakes on. Brake. Oh, too late. So drop down and pull back. Raise it up, up, up. All right. So let's. Before I get off here, let's stop it. And go back into the map. Hey, maybe the bug is fixed. Yes, I can get to everything now. Alright. So I can actually start loading stuff on there and leaving it on. I don't have to take it off. Well, that is nice to know. And I believe I am done for the evening because I have to get up early and play with my new paint gun. And I appreciate y'all watching. Thank you very much. For those of y'all that will be watching this on YouTube, leave me some comments. Let me know how I'm doing. and I will see everybody in the next episode. So hopefully tomorrow evening about this time we're going to get into what is it? Subnautica. I want to try Subnautica out and see if I'm any good at that. And earlier in the day I'll play some more SnowRunner and some Long Dark. It'll just be sporadic here and there. So, thank you for the happy birthday. I appreciate that. And I will see y'all in the next episode. So until then, have a good one.